All right, welcome back to Unfiltered Circle podcast. And today we're talking to some ladies about from first dates to forever dates. And they want me to run this thing, but it's all driven towards women. So I guess it's going to be a lot of male bashing. But I'm going to kick back and not approve of any of these questions here. Okay, so now with the first one, it says single dating, right?
Right.
Okay, this is pretty good. Men are now less likely to approach women in public. Wow.
So I feel like that is true. I believe, I want to say back in the day, back in my younger days, I would see a lot more men, and men would approach me like they would just shoot their shot, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. Like, hey, whatever, and that was it. Because that's when you're at a club or you're at a quinceañera or you're at a wedding or any place out and you have girlfriends and you're eyeing everybody in the room and you see that one guy and he catches your eye and then you like tell your girlfriends like, oh my God, he's looking at me. And then he'll come over. Eventually he'll come over. But now, no, I don't.
Yeah, and when you said they'll come over, they'll come over and ask you just a simple dance or something very simple like that.
Yeah,
it was
you want to dance. Yeah,
yes, and that's how you start off. Oh yeah, so dancing was part of it.
But why are men more discouraged now than they were before though?
Well, I believe that ultimately they're lazy. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, I think because of the dating apps. The dating apps have enabled us to be more lazy about, and that's just not men, it's women too, to be more reliant on, having these apps give us the algorithm for us, and then just simple with the finger swipe.
It
left
just
or
seems
right.
like with the apps, it's like window shopping.
Yeah.
All right, but you also came up with this thing about how before they used to walk up to the women and all that. But in most movies, when a man walks up to a woman and asks them for a drink or date, what usually happens?
They have sex?
No.
I don't know.
No,
They get turned down.
They say no.
But I also think that had a lot to do with, not to get controversial, but the Me Too movement, I think, had a lot to do with that. Because, men would go up to women and, recently, men would go up to women and it would all of a sudden be harassment. And so, it was just such a hard word to get thrown around and such an easy word to get thrown around. And so I think men have gotten kind of scared in a way.
Yep.
You're right.
I agree with you on that one.
Because if they go up to a woman, it would be, hey, you want to dance? Why not? Come on. And kind of like try to talk the woman into it, but very friendly, very non-threatening.
Right.
And if they do that now, oh gosh. Yeah.
Now you're a weirdo.
Yeah, you're a
pervert.
weirdo.
Now it's you're
harassing me.
pervert.
I said no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then also how many times have women gone out to bars and clubs, no intentions to meeting men, but they're just doing their whatever girls' night out or whatever it is. And again, guys go up and what happens? No, get away. We don't want you here or something like that.
Yeah, I think now there's I agree with that. I feel like they're more visually and verbally turned down than before. I think before it was discreet, more like this. And now it's like, it's part of that attention. And now, of course, you don't want to get turned down in public.
Yeah.
So based on that, can you answer the question again now?
What?
What was the question?
What was the question? Yeah.
What's the difference?
I'm going to need you to repeat the question, Tim.
Okay, I'm going to read your question. Men are now less likely to approach women in public anymore.
Right. I believe that is the case. I mean, it is the case. We have gone.
Didn't we answer the question?
Yes,
I
mean, I don't know if you're paying attention.
No. Yes, we.
That could also be part of the problem.
We did that, but now going back because you were talking about apps. So is apps still part of it now, or is it because they were turned down a lot before, or is it a combination now?
I don't know why. I mean, I believe the apps are a part of it.
Yeah,
I think
I
apps
do
make
too.
it easier to handle rejection. So it's so easy to just be like, oh, I got a bad text message. Oh, I can just block this person.
Yeah,
and now
ghost
I don't
them.
have to talk to them or worry about them again.
They're confident. They're more confident.
So when they start mentioning feet, is that an easy one to say no?
Sandra has a lot of experience on this, so I think I'll cut this over to Sandra.
What was your question?
So if they mention I like feet, is that one of the one of the things where you just start shutting down?
Well, I mean, I like feet too. They get me around wherever I need to go.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
You don't want that soundbite.
In other words,
You don't want that
in
soundbite.
other words, are you going to continue
Do not
to?
put that as a short. I
In other words,
I
like
feet too.
In other words, are you going to continue to encourage it? Or are you going to just say like, okay,
Oh,
I'm out?
well, so the dating world on
I
an
feel-
app, it's very easy to DQ someone. It's very easy.
Dairy Queen?
Dairy Queen. That's what I thought.
What is
Disqualified.
Disqualified.
Okay, so make sure we're not talking about Dairy Queen.
So, but so if the man brings it up initially, like right away, then you can gracefully bow out and say, you know what, that's not my thing. That's a turnoff. You know, if that is something that is attractive for you, it's not for me. You know, initially it's not gonna.
So what if they're in person with you? You're having drinks and he's purposely giving you more drinks. And he's all like, hey, can I see your feet? I see you wearing pumps. Can you take your shoes off, whatever they are?
would
Go to the
You're aging
bathroom
yourself by
and-
saying pumps.
That's what my wife calls them.
I haven't worn pumps in forever, baby.
Oh, dang. Stilettos? That what you
I
call
wear
them?
stilettos, there you go.
There
Oh, yeah, she does wear stilettos.
Okay. No, I don't want to say stilettos.
Get it
'cause
right.
makes-
Get it right. Okay, so yes, I've had.
So you would do it?
No, I didn't say
Oh, they
that.
said yes.
You
Depends.
know what?
Listen.
You know what? $20 is $20. No, I'm kidding.
It depends on the drinks.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're pouring you some good drinks.
No, I mean, look, any self-respecting woman is not gonna push their values aside for a drink, Dora. So,
Wow.
Depends who's pouring it.
It depends who's pouring it.
Like
no,
if
but
it's
if I
somebody
had this happen
famous.
to me,
Yeah, there you go.
I had this happen to me. I went on a few dates with the guy, and everything was really going great. Our vibes matched. We had chemistry. He had a great job. You know, was self-sufficient. You know, responsible, a genuine kind of guy, family oriented. And then the third date, that's when it came out where he's like, "Oh, you know, you have sandals on. You have cute feet. You know, would you let me massage them?" And I'm like, "Well," I said, "I'm very ticklish, so probably not." He's like, "Well, you need to let me try." I'm like, "Well," I said, "Probably not." And so he's like, then just a few minutes later, after I thought we kind of put that to bed, he's like, "So would you ever let me suck your toes?" Just like that. And I'm like, so
You
in
said
my,
yes, didn't you?
in my head, I was like, this is
Yes.
over. I'm not going to pursue this. No, I didn't say, I said no. I
Maybe.
said dirty toes. And you know,
Dirty toes.
so
So you're trying to like joke about it.
yeah,
and
I'm
stuff,
trying to
yeah.
joke it off, you know, and he kept on about it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that to me, I told him to me, and I talked very seriously to him and looked him in his eyes.
Good.
I said, to me, that's a turnoff. So if that's a turn on for you, then
This
yeah.
isn't gonna work.
Yeah, this is not going to work because I think it's a total turn off. You know, if that's something that really turns you on, then I'm not the one for you.
Then give me $200.
Give me $200.
Here you
and
go,
I'll-
real quick.
So then, what is the approach? What is the approach nowadays? Like how do you?
So if I say, like, do you like feet? The first thing?
No. Like if
What are
a
you
man
talking
comes
about?
up to you in a bar, say a bar, because you had Rollins a lot. Not a lot, but you go to you
That's rude.
Bus.
you
there goes
frequent
Sandra.
bars. No, I'm just kidding. No, whenever you're in the bar scene,
So you can catch Sandra at your local bar.
whenever you're in the bar scene,
Just weekly.
if somebody comes up, hey, can I buy you a drink?
Yes.
What do you say? Do you go by appearance first? How
No.
they're dressed?
Give them the up and down.
Honestly, I'm like, my first thing is usually I'll ask, I'm like, why do you want to buy me a drink? Like, if you just came up to me and you want to buy me a drink, I'm like, well, why do you want to buy me a drink? You know, and that will start a conversation with him, usually, you know? And he's like, well, you know, if he said, I saw you over there and I just think whatever, I wanted to buy you a drink. Sure. Yes. And if we start talking, then that's fine. But yeah, that's how I approach that.
So Liz, what about you? I'm not that you ever go with Sandra a lot, but whenever you're with her,
Well,
Which is all the time.
So yeah, which is all the time. No, so like like I said, like do the up and down. Like I won't like turn down one, or like I will, but like if I don't like them, I'll be like, Because there's also the fear of like, I don't want you to like put something in my drink, so I'm like, we'll scope you out first.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like, if he's attractive, then I'll be like, sure.
Well, you actually brought up a good point. Yeah, so like you don't want them to bring a drink to you.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
just
you would
gonna
go
just
to
need
the
to-
bar,
Yes.
or you had to be at the bar area and say, okay, well,
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
no
to be
one-
fair, I've never had that happen, so I've never had somebody
you hear
buy me a
that,
drink.
men? Let's get on it.
I had that to me from men too already. So
Have
I
men
don't know
buy
what
you
y'all
a
are waiting
drink?
for.
Have had men buy you a
I've
drink?
had that happen
Yeah.
when he goes to the restroom and he gets upset because he's like, I know they saw me next to you. He goes to the restroom, they come back and he's trying to talk and get me a drink. And I'm like, my husband's right there.
Yeah. You turn
And what do
around.
I tell you to tell them?
He's like, next time, just tell him to bring you one.
drinks.
Two
Two
drinks.
drinks.
Bring me two
Yes,
drinks, one
or
for
bring
me
the
and one for
drink
my
that I
husband.
like.
Hey, there was
Yeah.
one that was very apologetic when one time we were at Roland's when he realized that I had told him that was my husband coming. So he actually ordered us around for both of us and he apologized and walked away.
That's a stand-up guy.
Yeah. He shot his shot, and
Yeah,
you know,
he's like,
whatever.
Okay, so how do you figure out a man's true intentions? Now, is this part of while you're dating or in the beginning of the conversation?
talking, just like, well, it will bleed into when you first start talking.
Okay.
Men will reveal themselves either right away, their true intentions, or if it's not true intentions or they just want to hook up or whatever, then that will come out either very quickly or down the line when you meet.
I feel like this is where dating apps help, though, because when you're talking to somebody and just through texting, yeah, it's kind of harder to kind of figure out where they're coming from. But like on their profile, like on Tinder, you can see like looking for a long-term relationship, looking just for something fun, you know? So like you get that filter. So like you going into the conversation, knowing what this person wants, knowing what you want, and therefore it's easier to just be like,
And aren't there
"Do I
certain
vibe?"
apps too that have a reputation for that too as well? That I've heard of Tinder, like that it's more like for hooking up
yeah.
versus.
But there
And
are
that's what
those-
she's saying, that they will put their intentions on their profile, which is true. However, even the men that put their intentions on their profile may not fully, like they that's just for show.
That's what I was thinking too. How do you know
That's
too?
true.
You have to start talking to them.
That's yeah.
Yeah, because you will see. Because a lot of times I'll say, so the standard question is, what are you looking for? Right? Oh my God. So you have seen on their profile, it was a long-term relationship. And then if they say, this is what I want, eventually to have a long-term relationship. Okay, cool. And so you start talking, and then maybe, sometime down the line, like maybe a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
it could come out where like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in bed. Oh yeah, what are you wearing? Or it'll go just right into the sexual, like,
Right.
just talking about like, hey, what are you?
And that's when it goes back to the courting.
Yes.
Yes. There's no
yes,
There's
Okay,
no
but
time
you're
in
talking
between.
about the conversation part, right?
right.
So this is when you actually meet the individual, and then while you're talking, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks into the relationship.
So another time that could show a man can show its true intentions are if everything is okay because you're talking, he hasn't brought up any sex or anything that's whatever. So now you're meeting and you have a date, and if then he could choose at that point to be touchy feely or just cross the line as far as getting too close. Y'all had just met, even though you've been talking, you just met. There's still a relative assumption of a boundary that you need to keep because y'all just met.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm comfortable with. So that has to be taken slow. Even though you may have talked maybe for a few days prior,
right.
it's still seeing someone is different than talking on the phone. You're looking at someone, you're getting their energy, their vibe, how is it
See, there's
making you
any
feel
chemistry
good?
as
Yes.
well.
Right, and chemistry. And if you're getting a weird vibe, and he's trying to like just touch your leg or, touch your, which is, I'm a touchy-feely person, but I mean, if it's overly,
Right.
So how many dates or how long do they need to be, I guess, interacting for the touchy feeling?
Depends.
6
We're like-
months, then you can
you know what
file
I
an
mean?
application.
Or how many? Yeah.
Like for you.
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. So if I am talking to a guy and we get to where we go out on a date, we meet, um, and then go out on a date, and if we're vibing, our energies are matching, we have chemistry.
So she's saying by the third one.
No, third one, what? He can touch my leg? Like, I mean, now that is a natural progression. So if we're out somewhere, we're on a second date, I don't mind. And if we have that energy, I don't mind a touch on the leg or a shoulder or whatever, like that's cool. But pushing yourself on someone or assuming, like, I think the guy has to read the girl too.
Yeah.
He could read her, or he can just be like, I'm going to be selfish and I'm just going to go for it aggressively. And if she turns me down, then that's just it. Like, no.
So Liz, do you have any time span on that, or that doesn't really matter to you?
I mean, I do feel like it's just based on vibe. Like, you can feel it out because there is no real time frame, I don't think. But, like, I guess as a general rule, maybe, like, second, third date, we'll see, like, where things go and, like, how much chemistry we have.
And if you go back, and this is the thing, because if you go back to, like, the courting days when, back when I was younger,
Ye olden days.
Yeah, ye olden days.
Thank you for saying that.
Whatever. All right, Liz, I'm off. No, it's just different. Like, you fall into those roles of, not being submissive, but you letting the man take the lead. And usually not, most of the time they would take the lead, and, and you would, nobody said courted back then, but that's what would happen.
Right.
There was a progression.
Dating time.
Dating. Yeah, there was dating. And I feel like I follow that mindset. However, I think we're in this time right now where everything's like instant gratification, or, I'm feeling this way, and so I want to just do it, or, just get more intimate with him, or I want to, like, it's just, you feel like you are connecting faster somehow.
Like you're rushed
like,
into
and I don't
it.
know, like, it's just a.
So what do you mean by good game? Like, just to talk, besides the touchy feeling that you're describing, like, what else is like a good game? Like saying, I work here, I drive a nice car, I'm
like a green flag, like,
I'm Brad Pitt's brother.
Yeah.
You can detect from your conversations that if he's responsible, if your values match up, if is he a man of faith, is he family oriented?
So a good game would be like, I go to church on Sundays and I
hang out with my family.
Yeah.
For her, slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
But then when you start dating them, like 6 weeks later, they don't even go to church, barely see their family, and
well, then that's when
that's what I talk about the good game.
That's a hard loss, because then at that point you realize it was all smoke and show, and now you realize what kind of person he is. And unfortunately, you're a little invested, but it's not worth it. You're going to have to cut your losses.
So what about kids? So when those kids come in play, do you let them know right away? Do you let them know, like, maybe 6 months from now or a year?
Well, I try to match with men that, already have kids, that are older. I raise my kids, so it's like.
So you're looking for a man that's basically done. With kids.
Yes.
Because I know in some dating apps you could put the kids and you could scroll down and you could find all that stuff too.
Yeah, it says I have kids, I don't want any more, or something like that. Like,
I'm just kidding. I don't know about that.
I'm sure you don't.
But that is a thing.
Yes.
It is a thing.
Oh, it is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it is a thing. Like,
I'm not surprised. He did research.
He did his research.
So do you do that?
Let's see if I see his picture coming
Do you
up.
put how many kids you have?
Yeah.
No, I don't put how many kids I have. I just put
Because they're grown?
No, I just put have kids, don't want anymore. Or like there's options that you choose. Each app has their own options that you select.
All right.
Yeah.
Which one did you put?
I'm like, don't want kids.
Yeah.
Don't even want the ones I have.
Which one did you put?
2 kids,
I
too
know.
many,
What
3
did
kids,
you
too
put?
many.
Don't even want the kids I
What
have
did you
right
put
now.
in your app?
Like,
In
no.
your app.
Your app.
So, but
Like,
do other men do men put how many kids they have?
No, you don't put the number of kids. You just it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a
So-
You just
general-
put
See,
half
I don't
kids.
know. See, I don't know.
whatever.
Good,
Stop acting.
I
good
don't
save.
know.
Good save.
All right, whatever. You don't know.
He's
but-
he's on Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder?
Grinder, isn't it?
Grinder. Yeah.
Grinder.
Okay, yeah. Grindr.
Is that one? Yeah, there you go.
That's men for men, just FYI.
Oh shoot! No wonder I
was
get
gonna
all
say,
the
you know
drinks.
what?
Ratings just went whoop.
No wonder I get those drinks. Like I told
Look
you.
at James.
Damn.
Dang. Hi, puppy.
You okay there, Sandra?
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's
Are
because
you
I
good?
could keep a man.
He's a
I
puppy
can keep
chulo.
a man, you can't.
Oh, snap.
He's a puppy
Okay.
chulo.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Whoa! What the heck?
Oh. Now who's going to keep it longer?
So, whoa! What the heck?
Sorry.
The man longer? I'm like, what?
What?
No.
Let's get Roland involved in this.
Oh, heck no.
Roland probably keep the man longer.
Yeah, he probably.
They'll be
He
playing
does-
golf and
I
all that stuff.
know.
Like,
Yeah,
they'll be
there
doing
you
all
go.
kinds of stuff.
There you go.
At the
Get it,
pool,
get it,
chilling
get
out.
it.
At the pool. I have a pole.
Yeah. I have a
Oh
pool.
my God, he does have a pole.
He's got more to offer this man.
There you go.
You lost, babe.
Yeah. You got no pool. You got a wife. and
Okay,
three
let's go
kids.
back because
Okay,
we,
so
we
then-
got too comfortable
Get
with
back on
that.
track. Back
So
on
then,
track.
Liz, what kind of man are you looking for? Like, what kind of qualities? What are you actually looking for?
That's so hard.
Or maybe just you're not really looking for a lot, but just what exactly?
I feel like the bare minimum is the wrong answer.
No, I mean, you don't have to be looking for
I hear
Prince
you.
Charming right now.
But like, it's like just someone who's nice.
Has like similar morals and values
Yeah,
like you.
who's like gonna be like honest and
Respectful.
like respectful.
A man of
Exactly.
faith.
Full-time
Yeah.
job.
Full-time job.
Oh yes, full time.
Health insurance. No, I'm kidding.
Own
Oh,
cars.
now they're coming out.
Own car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be driving them
Yes,
around.
I'm not gonna
No.
be. I'm not gonna go
Living
to your
with
house
mom?
pick you up.
Do you want him to live
Absolutely not.
with
No.
mom or
Their
have
own place.
have their own place?
Have their own place. Exact. Like, just
So
like
just
the
the
bare
bare-
minimum.
the
just
bare-
the bare minimum of
But
like
I
being
mean,
a
that's the
decent
bare,
adult
that's the bare
man.
good
Bare-
qualities
bare
minimum.
I was gonna say no. That would be the
That's a good
essential.
quality.
That is the
Yeah.
adulting one.
That like just be an adult.
Be an
you
adult.
know?
Exactly.
Like,
And
which
that
I
would
feel
be-
like is hard to find at like the age of 25, which I'm at.
Oh, let me tell you, at the age of 50, there's people that are, yeah.
But
you know what? No
that
judgment.
kicks.
But you know that. Okay, just a quick question on that one. Are you dating? Are you looking for somebody your age, or do you mind if they're older?
I don't mind if they're older. I
What
don't
is
mind
what
more
is your
experience.
older window?
Yeah, what is
10
it?
years, 20.
Oh my God.
No.
I'm gonna say because lately I've been running into
She said lately
no,
you've been
like
what?
my daughter's age, Sabrina.
Yeah.
People that are her age, her coworkers or her friends. There's two or three that are married to men that are 14 years older.
You know what? Times are tough out here, ladies. Like,
And
you know what? If you're
but
looking
let
for
me
a sugar
tell
daddy,
you, their houses, their cars, they are taken care of, and I'm like, oh, as I was telling you, because I was
that's
like,
all I want.
What men's club do they belong to? What
so,
men's club do they
men's
so
club
belong
they
basically
belong
they're
to?
27, 28 when they met their husband of 14 years, and they were
Damn,
40,
Liz.
41.
Now's the time.
And I'm like, when she told me, I'm like, well, you know what? That's not too old. I mean, you think about
No.
it.
So like my cap, I feel like is like 10 years.
10
Like
years, okay.
max.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they're mid 30s, and by
Yeah.
then they should be already
And
have
by then
stability.
they should be stable by then.
Yeah, because when you're in your 20s, you're trying to figure out, you finally find your space, or you finally got your groove, what you
Yeah.
want to do. Then you're working hard at it. 30, you're like, I already got there. I'm just maintaining what I got, and maybe I could get a little bit better too.
Yeah.
At 30, so my wife messed up.
She settled really early.
Yeah,
She settled
I'm
really
like
early.
4 years younger than her, so
And now
Oh, that's right.
I met, what? No,
No,
you're
you're
not
not
4
4
years. You're
years.
18 months younger than me.
2 years.
No,
2 years.
you're not.
I'm
2
all
years.
that's right. I'm like, no, she's not.
So, I'm married for love,
Ew.
and I know, ew. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I know. Ooh.
I wasn't the best prom date, according to her.
I'm
so-
married for love, and I told my girls when they were younger, right? I should tell them, I said, because they would be like, "Oh, the nerds, oh, mom," and I said, "Girl, the nerds are the ones that are going to be handsome 10 years from now. They're going to be the doctors, the engineers." I
They're
said,
going to be the
"Go
ones
for
for the
nerds."
podcasts. And
And I don't have, I'm not an
No, he's not. But he's a man of many, many, many skills. So I did well.
Yes.
I hit
will say
gold
you did.
because my husband can actually, he's a man of all trades. I mean, he'll do
But he's
plumbing,
got
he'll do
good
cars.
values,
Oh, yeah.
and he loves his family.
And he loves his family. And I'll talk about when I courted, when we dated.
Did you say courted?
She sure did. You
Well,
courted her.
when I
You knew
courted.
that?
her.
When we dated,
Check that off your list.
even to this day, when I
I'm
courted,
gonna take a test.
Put on
for
your
that.
Grinder app. That court.
he's like, was I
I'm
there?
good at courting.
But you know what got me?
And you
Of
know
course.
what? On Grindr, there'll be men that love that.
What was it with him was, like I said, I married for love because he was very detailed. You know, he was all about a card, chocolates, flowers. And what I loved, because I love music, back in the day, they was when you could buy like what you call it, cassette, a single song. And
Aw.
he would literally buy me a song that was out, that was a love song, like Eternal Flame, like
Ooh,
and
the
he and we
Bangles.
would go on a date and he would play the song. So I would bring it and take it.
And see, now the equivalent of that is I made you a playlist on Spotify.
Hey, I'll take that. I would take that though.
Yes, I would take
Because
that.
what, like, because that's the thing is like that shows like effort.
Yes.
And like
I thought about
intention.
you, and I want you, or this is. I want to share this with you because these
See,
are my
those
favorite
are
These
the-
are my favorite
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
This is because you can find out a lot of person by their
by their
taste in
music. Yes, absolutely. I
No, he
100%
would like
agree.
write me little cards and write pictures. Like he was
See,
very
I
detailed.
Love that. I love that romantic stuff.
All right. So Liz, where would be places that the individual can take you that you would say, no way, I don't want to come here no more. I can't believe you took me here. And how about the other side, which is some good places like, okay, I like this. I could be doing this here. Because I know with Sandra, like, it's take me to a bar.
Oh my god, I'm getting stereotyped.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like a bar would be my don't. Because like bars are loud and like it's not a good place to like get to talk to somebody. Also, movie theaters are terrible first dates.
Yes.
Yes,
they
they
are.
are.
Whoever told men that that's a good first date?
can't even talk in there.
You're not talking to
you.
each other. You're sitting
But what
next
if
to
you
each
take
other.
blankets?
No,
it's a-
whatever.
You
That's
take a blanket and he's like,
no,
I know. Yeah, that's
no.
exactly. I'm like, no, thank you.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, like
Like
movie
a
theaters and
dinner?
stuff. Like dinner. Yeah, dinner. Maybe like.
a Chili's or
And like
something.
I'm
you
a
could
sucker
do.
for an aquarium. Like I love going to the aquariums, and so like just like looking at fish and like
Yeah.
just stupid little.
What about like Whataburger or something like that? Burger Boy or something like that?
You know what? You know what? I'll take Whataburger if we can just sit in the car and talk. I
All
don't
right.
Oh,
Yeah. like if that's all we're doing. I'm totally cool with that. I like the talking, the connection. I don't. Yeah.
So what about a restaurant? What would be a good restaurant to sit down and where it's not too loud in
This is
there?
gonna sound so tacky, like Olive Garden.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Olive
That's
Garden's good.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
all right. Olive
Yeah.
Garden.
As long as you're not in the middle tables, though, because
Yeah.
you have to be in a booth.
Like a booth. I take a booth.
And Sandra,
Yes.
same question
Yes.
here.
She's like that. She's like, that's my name. Yes.
What would be the places
Present?
that's a totally no?
Accounted for.
Like, oh no,
Yeah.
you messed up there.
No, I would 100% agree. No movies.
The bar.
And also, no, I'm not going to your house a first date to Netflix
the
and
bar.
chill.
To the bar.
Mhm. With
Shots,
the
blanket?
shots.
No.
Shots.
Yeah, with the blanket.
Quick
no.
question. Have you got that question to go on your first date at their house?
Yeah, like, hey, you want to
Oh,
come over
yeah.
and just
Really?
hang out and watch
Yeah.
movies? No, we're not doing that.
Wow.
I
so
said
they're,
no.
they're testing already.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one.
Right away. And I'm like, no. I said no. I said that sounds cool down the line, maybe when we get to know each
Yeah,
other.
but not the first time.
But
yeah.
I said we need to meet first to see even if I want to go to your house and spend time with you to watch
I
a
know.
movie.
I had
Like,
a first date invite themselves over to my house for the first date.
Wow.
It was a time, and I could not get them out until I was like, I'm like falling asleep. I need you to leave.
are
Yeah.
you serious?
What if he was
Yeah.
waiting for you to fall asleep?
That's why I was like, get out.
He was waiting for you like to be like, are you in a stay? And, yeah.
He was
Oh,
like,
God.
He was like, let's get sushi and watch movies, and I was like, okay, sure. I was like 18, 19, like freshly kind of just like figuring things out, and so I
Yeah.
was like, why not? We'll try it. And then I couldn't get him out. And I was
Until
like,
you
Oh.
realize I've got standards.
until
Yeah.
I realized I hate
Yeah.
this. I
Yeah.
want you to go home.
So definitely no movie theaters, not their house.
So just always have an escape plan is like my takeaway.
We have, yes, me and my girls have
Like text
this-
each other.
no, we have each other on a tracker.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, or
So,
Snapchat.
Snapchat tracker. So
Oh, good.
I'll say,
Not sponsored by Snapchat.
I'll say, yeah, or somebody, one of us will say, hey, going on a date. You got me locked down.
That's smart,
Yes.
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll say we have a safe word or whatever. We'll say cucumber. If I text you
Whoa.
cucumber, come get me.
Yeah,
So with the guy.
the guy. Yes,
The guy's like, I thought you never
he
asked.
texted
I know.
He texted cucumber for her to come over.
Yes, right. No, but yes, you always have to be safe, no matter. You never know. It's always a public place. I have a safe place I like to go to. I'm not going to say anything, but because I know people there, and so I feel like if I give someone the eye, I would be okay. Like
No, I know the place.
somewhere safe. Always a first date, somewhere safe, somewhere public.
And that's smart, too, because
yeah.
that works for you as well.
Yeah. So, because you don't know these people, you only know what they've wanted you to see.
Right.
And so when it's in person, one, you don't know if they're going to be the same, what they look like on their picture. Two, you don't know if they're going to turn it up and be a little bit more aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah.
Three, you don't know the personality, if it's going to change, like their personality is going to change.
Once they drink, you don't know what they're going to become.
Or not even drink, just being in front of you, like if they're, oh, you're so beautiful, and if it's just like a whole bunch of love bombing, and you're like, all right,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
that's happened too, and you're like, okay, like you got to pump the brakes.
That's a red flag. Love.
So Liz, do you wait for them to? Do you meet him at the place, or do you want him to pick?
Oh no, I'm very pro meet up at the place because I, like I said, want an escape route.
Especially
if I
the first time.
don't,
I think
especially
so.
the first time. Because like if I don't vibe with them and I'm just like,
Because I think that's where it's different. So when we were in our time, we were dating. When you're dating somebody, it's because you met, example, in college.
You already
You
know
have them for
them.
a class,
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah.
them.
So
And
they
for
can,
you,
yeah.
you just met this person online.
Online.
So
online,
yeah,
So it's like
I would too.
I
I
want to be safe and like have an escape plan.
Because when I was younger, when I dated, they picked me up. Everybody picked me up.
You didn't have a car, babe. That's
So that worked out for me.
yeah.
You don't have a.
But I also
I
knew.
didn't have a car.
I also knew you.
It's not I was bragging. I didn't have a car.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. Like you know the person. Like
Yeah,
I was
you knew the
I
person.
was whoever I would date. It would be like I knew that person already.
Now
and for
you
now,
don't know
you
the
just,
person.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just communicating with them online or through messages. So you don't know who you're going to get in person.
Right.
So Sandra, you would meet them also?
Meet them where? What? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
she says she meets him at the place where
Yeah,
she feels
at
safe.
public place.
That's why I'm asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
I said, you said I know the place. I said a public place where I feel
I'm sorry.
safe.
I'm sorry.
You even commented, I know the place.
No. I said like, do you meet them there or do you get?
Oh, I'm sorry.
like-
Yeah, I meet them there. Yes. Yes.
she still meets him there. Yes.
Yes, I
But
meet him
she,
there.
She drives herself there to
Yes.
meet them there.
Yes. You don't
In her
want
safe place.
Yes, in my safe place.
Yes.
I see. I see,
And that's
said
the
blind
difference
man.
from before. Like if you get picked up at your home, that's again because you knew the person.
Now, how much is there alcohol usually involved, Liz?
Yeah, I don't mind like a drink or two, but like because I'm not a big drinker in general, so like I don't usually go over like one or two drinks.
So they don't push drinks on you? Like, oh, you
If
almost
they
finished.
push drinks on me, that's a red flag to me.
Okay,
that's
good.
a red flag to me. If they're trying to push me to drink, that's a
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Smart.
pen, I gotta
That's
write
good.
that down.
Mm-hmm. I gotta write that down.
push-
Don't push drinks.
Don't push drinks.
don't push drinks.
Smart. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good rule to have for yourself as well.
Yeah,
Because you also want to be, you want to be in control. I was gonna say you
and
want to
I
be in your right mind and thoughts.
be in complete control of myself.
Yeah.
And that.
So Dora, when they buy you drinks, do you like do they have the drink in their hand already, or do you wait for them somebody to come over
Is
with?
it, hey, mama's here.
It's both.
Hey, Mamacita. It's both.
It's both.
And why haven't you asked for a second beverage for your husband?
Hey, we got like a lot of beers one time at Bogart's too. Remember when they came with a tray of beers and you're like, where'd these come from? And I'm like,
Well,
they
keep
just
it
brought
coming.
them.
Keep it
Yeah, and they
coming.
make fun of me because that day I was.
Oh yeah, because you like your beers dressed.
That's why you got a whole tray of beers, because
Yeah.
you're licking the damn
They're
bottle.
all dressed.
We were on the double date. He was
See your
Carlos.
skills.
he was his friend,
Facts.
and his girlfriend at that time, Carlos, and they were playing pool, and him and his ex-wife now were there. She was there with me. We were having our beers and our drinks, and all of a sudden, some person from the bar comes and says it's on them, and I'm like, what? And that's when he comes to Carlos and says, where'd you get all these beers from? I said, I don't know, they just brought it from over there. I didn't put it together.
They're
Carlos,
licking the long neck.
of course, Carlos with his dirty mind said, well, no wonder, look at you. And I was like,
the truth, that is the truth. That is the
I
like
guarantee you that's
deductive reasoning, that is the truth.
well, they were just happy they got free beer.
So Sandra, do you do you want? I mean, what if they push beers on you or drinks? Do you even notice that's happening?
Well, yes, because I'm in control of my, like, I know I'm an adult, and nobody is going to push anything on me. Like, I'm in control. I'm cognizant of where I'm at, what I'm doing. I am also meeting this person for the first time, so I'm not going to get shit-faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be a terrible girl.
Yeah.
I would be shit-faced.
You would be
No.
terrible. You'd be like,
I'll be a
"Woo!"
hoe. I'll be a hoe is what I'll
be a
Your
hoe.
panties in your head.
No self-control.
No self-control.
And I got to think right there.
What the hell?
What
Dora's like, what?
was that? Was that
Wow.
Skill's a skill, right? I mean,
It's also on Grindr.
Oh my gosh.
that's why
I might have to go look up. I might have to go look up that website. I hope I not see your
It's not a
picture
website,
there.
it's an app.
Oh,
I promise
so
you don't look up what Grindr
no,
is.
I'm sorry, app.
You'll go grind your.
I better not see his picture there.
No, but yes, no. If it's gonna push drinks on me, then yeah, that is usually a red flag. Or if we're in the moment and like, hey, we're having fun and everything's flowing correctly, or not correctly, but freely, and he's like, here, yeah, come on, we're having fun, having a drink. I'll say no, and if he doesn't understand no, maybe twice, then there's gonna be a problem. Like, yeah.
So when you have said no, have you felt like they're insisting, or they got upset, or they're just been understanding?
I've never really run into anybody that's like not understanding when I've
Okay.
said no, which I think is good.
Talking about the drinks.
Yeah, about drinks.
Yeah, because usually when a guy buys you, oh look, you're almost done. Let me get you another one.
get
So
Yeah.
nobody has said, "Oh, you're boring," or "Let's just leave."
No,
Yeah.
no.
I would say that shit.
Yeah, you do.
Barn, let's go. Time for this shit.
God
Going back on
almighty.
Grinder.
Oh my God.
So what about the bill? So if they're not putting, if you're worried about the drinks and all that, does the man pay the whole bill, or is it 50-50, or
So what are our expectations of the
Yeah.
first date?
My feeling is whoever invited who on the date should be the one to pay.
Okay.
So like if I was like the one who initiated, say, hey, I really like you, let's go out, meet me here at this time, whatever. Then like, yeah, I would kind of
Expect
to pay because I invited you out from
But if
your
he
life
says
and your
no,
time.
I'll get it. You're like, okay,
And if
cool.
he says no, like if he says
Yeah.
no, I'll get it. Like, sure, fine. But like
But how many times have you invited somebody?
not very many. Like
I
one or
wonder
two.
Why?
And the times that you have they allowed you to pay, or have they said like, no?
It's usually like, no, I'll get it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sweet. Okay,
but-
that at least that still hasn't changed. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Sandra?
Yes.
she's present.
I know.
She's present. Sandra is here.
So usually, before, like, oh, there's a
I know, I
gnat.
saw that.
There's a freaking gnat.
I saw
Hold
the
on.
gnat there.
I would expect
You expect to do some dancing?
I thought she was doing the robot for a while.
YMCA.
I was like, come on, Liz, let's do it.
oh my God, there's
See, I
a
see
fucking
pause to do that.
the gnat is attacking me. I would normally expect the man to pay. However, I do know times have changed, and to be fair, our first meeting, I wouldn't call it a date. It's a date, but I would call
meet
it
and
a
greet?
meeting. You're meeting for the first
Yeah,
time to see if
that's
you
good
want to
word.
continue
The job
dating.
interview.
A
Yeah.
meeting.
It's the interview
The job
process.
interview.
It's the weeding out process, right?
Yeah.
So
It's the
I would-
interview.
so what I would do whenever the bill came, whatever, I would offer to pay half.
Mhm.
And usually, most of the time, it's like, no, I'll get it. So, but I think offering to pay half is fair because
Yeah, I think so,
again, we're
too.
not on a date. I don't classify as a date. We're meeting.
You're meeting,
Yeah.
you're interviewing each other.
Yeah.
Meet and greet.
Meet and greet.
So what if they start talking to you, Liz, about future? Like, oh, I want to get married. I want to have 3 kids.
Like to her or just about general?
No, just in general.
in
general.
Like on the first
I mean, that's a
meeting?
big hint. Yeah, first or second date.
I mean, I think that's great personally.
Expectations, yeah.
Because I'm not saying I'm stupid, but like, like
Because you're 24,
be
right?
upfront. Yeah.
Okay, so
that wouldn't scare you off.
No.
Because
like
that's something you're
gotta
expecting
get there
to do anyway.
eventually.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, you want to know a man's intentions.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like,
So if they're telling you, then you listen.
So you wouldn't be like, whoa, slow down. You'd be like, oh, okay. You know,
well,
I
if
see
they're
what you
saying
want.
like, I want to get married with you, I want to get married to you, I want to have kids
Or-
with you
or I
right
wanna
now.
get married in a
then I'd be like,
year.
whoa.
No, or I want to get married.
You're like,
in a
I know
year.
I'm worth it, but hold on,
I know,
okay?
right? Like,
Like if they're like, in 2 years I want to get married. Okay, well now is it a numbers game or is it like you're truly interested? You know, then you question: do you just want to get married or do you want to?
Well, saying
like, do you
that
just want to get married or do you want to get married to me?
Yeah, exactly.
so,
Yeah.
they probably have
Sandra
goals.
will be the opposite, right?
What?
like no married. I don't want to.
Oh.
Like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, been there, done that.
Okay, so I'm never gonna say never, but I feel
Like, that's not part of your first questions or.
no, it's not. My thing is I feel for my age group. I feel like I'm so freaking old.
Companionship.
Like,
Companionship?
I think what's most important, Chinga, what is most important is, to me, is the time now. So I'm not saying that I would never want to get married. I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to be committed. All I want to do is take one day at a time. I would love to know your expectations, but I don't want to feel like there's a time limit on it.
So then I'm sorry. So would this be more of a passion dating, or are you looking for stability? You wrote it on here. Passion or stability when dating?
Oh,
gotta follow your own notes, Sandra.
okay. So I think it has to be a little bit of both. I mean, you want to be passionate about who you're dating, and hopefully that does offer some stability.
No. Isn't passion more of affection? Passion's more of, like.
Oh, so
More lust. More lust.
More lust.
More, yeah.
so yeah,
Right there.
yeah. No, I'm. Those days are long gone.
Girl,
Those things won't ever be gone. I don't know.
girl, who are you trying to fool, girl? Don't you get conjugal visits? You get some conjugal visits, girl.
We know there's one any guy all the time, so
We get conjugal visits, so
Conjugal. I don't know. You know.
we're supposed to speak the truth in Unfiltered
I'm
Circle.
speaking the truth.
This is unfiltered.
My intentions are. What was the question?
To stop, her intention is to stop having one night stand.
Dora, you're painting me like I'm a whore.
That's me.
That is him.
That was a female.
I am not. Okay, so I just had this question asked me because I'm kind of talking to someone.
That's if you're a whore.
No, they didn't ask if I was a whore.
We're just kidding.
No. So, this is another thing. So we're talking and there's interest and we've met already. We've had a couple of dates and we've gotten to know each other. We're vibing. We have, same values. And so, it comes down to most men or the few men that I have dated a few times, not even committed to, just dated. They'll say like, okay, well, I'm not going to date anybody else because I like you. And I know we're just dating, but I'm a one woman kind of man, which I appreciate. And
Yeah.
I agree with that. However, we're dating. And how can we date and make sure that, that's the whole dating. Isn't that the term of dating that you kind of not trying people
I guess
on,
he's
but-
just trying to reassure you that even though you don't have a commitment of we're going to move in together or we're going to
or
be,
just like I want you to be my girlfriend or I want you to be.
but he's just telling you he's going to be
Yeah, well then that puts a
loyal
lot of
during
pressure
that
on
time.
me.
But isn't
Well,
that
I
what you
mean-
want though?
Yeah, it's not the whole
yes.
idea of
It's
an
not-
app.
No, but this is after 1 or 2 dates. We're still getting to know each other.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not where we've talked for like 2 or 3 weeks. We're just still getting to know each other.
Well, I think when he's saying that, he's probably telling you that he likes you. He likes what he sees.
Yeah.
So right now he's going to focus on you, which is his choice.
Right. That
You
is,
know.
and if I don't feel the same way, I feel like they shouldn't be upset because we're in the initial parts. Just because you feel sure about me doesn't mean I feel sure about you.
Has it happened to you where they got
Yes.
upset? Like after 1 or 2 dates?
Not they didn't get upset, but they're like, I can tell they were hurt. And I said, and I explained it this way. I said, we're dating. We're not committed to each other. And I would think I would be that person. But I have just learned the past few years of dating that these things always don't pan out like you think they are.
So I think right now you're still guarded.
Yes.
So you're kind of just like, okay, I hear what you're coming from, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, because you could be Mr. Wonderful for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I say, okay, I'm gonna not date anymore, and all of a sudden it's like different.
So this question, so you go out with this person that he's telling you this,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
You already got an example 2 dates.
Mhm.
You're gonna go on number 3,
Mhm.
and this person's saying, you know, I like you. I'm gonna just kind of go see where this goes.
Mhm.
Now, are you still looking at the app?
Yeah. If I don't feel the same, if I feel the same, then I will pull back. You have to make me feel like
A woman.
So I
you
wait.
have to make me feel like I
Copyright.
don't. You have to make me feel like I don't want to look at anybody else.
Yes.
So
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I like,
So if you don't feel that right away, well, like you said, sometimes you have the chemistry and sometimes you just
and-
don't.
But we may have chemistry, but maybe I don't feel like that right now. Not to say that in the next few weeks I won't feel that way.
Right.
But in order for me not to like be on any apps or
Yeah, I get
date
it.
anybody, I have to not you have to make me. I have to feel that I don't want to look at anybody else.
Yeah, because there are people that really fall hard right away,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're easy
And I
to do
and
that.
I have come across those people, and I'm a little guarded because I recognize that I'm great and all, I know, but we need time to.
Mhm. I got to work on that then because look where he's looking at the apps. He's working on the
Well,
on
I
the
don't get the free
grinder.
drinks.
Right.
I don't get the free
Well,
drinks, so I
start
gotta
licking
get
them
out.
bottles.
Get-
Start licking the bottles.
Start looking at Grinder, and then you'll get free
No,
drinks.
he needs to start licking the bottles. Get them dressed and start licking, and you got it.
Get dressed.
Get them dressed.
Get them dressed.
No, but does that make sense? Like
It does. It
Well,
does. I mean,
Playing devil's advocate here.
Okay.
People have different levels of social battery. So like dating obviously is a big energy drainer for people. And so like if you're if you're on an app and you have the opportunity to match with 10 or 15 people and you're like saying talking to all of those people, that can be draining. And so like you kind of want to whittle it down and be like, I like this person. I want to invest my energy into this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see anything wrong with that.
No, you're absolutely right.
so
I agree.
have you had where there's somebody that sets you up, like a friend of a friend versus an app? Like a coworker would say, I have a cousin, I have a friend that would,
I have my best friend. He's a guy who has set me up with one of his friends, and it was a bullet dodged. And so I don't really trust my friends.
Okay. Mhm.
I've been there, done that.
Been there, done that. So I'm like, I'd rather use my own intuition, not who you think is good for me.
I think that for me, that is, again, I'm going to say it again. When I feel like I don't want to look at anybody else, that's a clear indication to me that, yes, I want to
You're
focus.
committed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you want to commit.
Yes, I want to commit. But
Still working on that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but this is the whole point of dating.
Yeah.
But I have
Is
found,
finding that.
which I find very ironic, or I just find very curious that there
Yeah.
has been more men than not that have said that to me, where we talking off the app, maybe not even met, and say, I'm not going to talk to anybody else because I like you and whatever.
Well, that's good to know because usually I feel like sometimes the
Well,
majority they want to just
Well, it is.
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, but you don't know if that's the truth. You
Or
don't know
they're
if they're
just telling you
saying
what you want to
that.
hear. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's why you have to meet, you have to talk, you have to see if their actions and words are matching consistently.
True.
And that's the exhausting part of dating because that doesn't happen all the time.
It's like you're
And
saying, it's an elimination game.
Energy. It drains your freaking energy. And it could be, let's say, I'm not saying I'm talking to all these men at one time. It can be a couple.
Yeah.
And and I'm still getting to know this one person, or I'm knowing this person and I'm liking this person, but this person also intrigues me. Like, am I gonna like close one door and just
Right.
saddle myself? You know what I mean?
You on the apps or what?
But anyway, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. So yeah.
So, Liz, right now, do you prefer the apps or do you prefer like meeting like the individuals on their own, like wherever, like at a grocery store or whatever
I
you
personally
are?
prefer the apps because I feel like I can vet that better, and plus I'm really awkward in person.
I was just gonna
Until,
say
that.
you've gotten to know me for a while, or I'm comfortable.
So I was just gonna say, like, if you're at the grocery store, like he said, and you see a gentleman that interests you, would you try to talk to him or initiate anything, or you just gonna be like,
I would
mm-mm?
just be like, "Why are you talking to me? I'm buying my groceries. Like, leave me alone. I'm
No,
just
no,
trying
no.
to get
Would
my tampons."
you initiate?
Oh,
Would
would
you
I
initiate?
See, that's what we talked about turning down the man in the beginning.
You're like, leave me alone.
Like,
No, no. Like, would you initiate? Like, hey, I'm trying to reach that, or I don't know. Would you initiate?
No,
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not saying I'm socially awkward, but like, I'm pretty socially awkward. So like, I'm the kind of person that like, if there's somebody in front of me at the grocery store, I will wait until that person is done looking, and then I will get what I need, just so I don't have to be like, "Can you move?"
Your move is like, I was trying to make it a move for you. Like, I was trying to.
So
set
you
up
wouldn't like drop
for
something
you.
on the floor so they can help you
Like
pick
the,
it
I
up,
go to the bend and snap and Legally Blonde.
or something in a T-shirt, or hey, I went to that concert, and you
So,
never went to
okay,
that concert.
So if you see an individual, I say individual, but if you see a man or a guy, whatever, do you like say, hey, I wonder if he's on the app, and you start looking for him, or you start looking for a picture or something? No.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I
No.
wonder if I would do that. Like, not guy, but.
I had thought about it, but like that's not a bad idea.
Take a picture and do a Google search of
Oh,
his
yes.
face.
Yes.
Hey, that's a little stalker.
That's
right?
a little stuff. Well, you know what? That's
Pretend
like,
you're doing a selfie, and then you're like,
Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. Actually.
You're like, hey guy, can you move? Click. Real quick.
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying that's a good tool. Like, I've just thought about that right
Yeah.
now. Oh, look at my wife over
he's
here.
like opening all this kind of
look at her
worms.
eyebrow just keeps
Woo.
going up right there all the time.
Well, keep saying dumb shit, and she'll
Keeps it exactly.
Sure, you sleep with one eye open.
No, I don't need to. I got cameras.
I
just in
got
case.
cameras.
Got
I'll
proof.
see you. So then,
I'll break them.
what is okay? So since high school was like 6 years ago now, right?
Yeah. That's
So
crazy saying that
I'm not
out
gonna
loud.
talk- and I said that to Sandra. but- so
It was
is there a
8 for
difference
her.
between your high school and now in dating?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it because the apps, or just because, or maybe high school had more people
I
physically?
didn't really date in high school. I was more just like keep my head down, like in the books. Just because I was better, like, don't look at me, kind of. Don't know that I exist in high school.
You just want to get high school done
Just
in
want
your
to get
gut.
my
I
diploma
think
and
I've seen
get out
those
of here.
movies over and over again.
Yeah.
And again, that's the difference too from that
And that's-
generation
and
to
so-
our generation.
Yeah. And so, like, now I'm kind of trying to put myself out there and, like, because, like, I obviously want, like, kids and a family one day. So, like, you gotta kind of put yourself out there to do that. So,
Is there anything else besides apps?
Friends.
friends, family.
I mean,
You
like
don't trust your
something
friends.
I don't trust
like
my friends.
social media or electronically or anything.
That's the apps.
Or what was that?
Or going out, maybe
chat
like
rooms you used to do, Sandra?
Chat rooms are where
Yeah,
people
you
get...
used to the chat
Chat rooms are where people get
the
groomed.
email stuff.
Email.
Yeah, you said something when Roland, you were getting to the chat rooms,
AOL?
something
That
like
was
that.
back in the messenger days.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Like back,
Back in the ye olden days.
you gotta bring those back. Is that
in
what
the ye olden days with dial-up internet, and
I guess they would be also different things. Like if you're into different hobbies, and maybe you join groups, and maybe you need people.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
like if you wanted to go hiking, boom. If you wanted to do at the gym, boom. Or if you wanted to do, I don't know, ceramics, maybe a group of ceramics. I'm just saying. So maybe if you have a type of hobby,
yeah,
then
Join
you
a
can.
Facebook group.
Yeah. I've seen people where I've heard where they have their example, their dog, like Freckles was, where was she? Oh my gosh.
Papillion.
Pompeii?
Pompey?
No.
Papillon.
Papillon.
Papillon. So they'll be like the
Papillon.
club of papillons, and then you're going to be like, the single people will be there. So I'm just saying, there's different things like that. Maybe
Yeah.
groups that you can, with hobbies, and then join.
All right.
I mean, I've heard. I mean, I didn't sign
Sure.
Freckles up there or nothing. I just kind of heard that there was
Joined a group.
You just
a
joined
group of papillons.
Papillons.
So Dora, dating now that you're married, how is that going? Is it different from not being married
Now
to
that
married?
you're married, like recently married, now that you're
Well, I
married.
get a lot of free drinks.
Obviously.
Note to self. Start
No, but-
getting stuff dressed.
But from yeah, listening to conversations and with my daughter and my daughters before she got married, yeah, things were different. I can see the difference between my older one to even though they're 2 years apart only, but I think now it's getting very relaxed now, very relaxed when it comes to the apps of meeting people. And there was one of them that she said, and you always can tell when she tells you, oh, this guy, that to me was like, he sounds too good to be true. This is like a month ago. And I called it because he came up on Facebook with a different name.
Yeah. Yep. That happens. I mean,
And she wasn't even upset. She was laughing because she was like, Mom, you're right. Anyway, so he was a police officer. So, and I was like, well, respect for the city police officers, but I say when they're that young, I said, Mama, they have a reputation. I said, but hopefully he's a good one. I just said, hopefully he's a good one. Let's see how it goes.
unless he has to do laundry.
Unless he has to do laundry.
So all of a sudden he's busy. He's this and that. I went to the gym, and then she tells me, "You're right." She sees the Facebook. It's a different name. It came up, and I just go, "I told you."
Or you can be on the apps and you see that one person and then you see him again with a different name. Like, you're.
But I mean, honestly, I'm saying I think it's too relaxed now, where they feel like him, like he's looking at this app and that app, and I can find two different. Date
two different personalities.
Yeah, he could be dating two girls at the same time because he's two different people.
Yes.
He's Jose here and Javier there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that's kind of creepy to me.
Yeah.
But I just feel like nowadays it's very different, too relaxed, and I also don't see like the dating part where you look forward as much as before, where they open the car door, where they greet you with a rose, where they dress up a little bit,
chivalry.
or
Holding hands more often.
Well,
holding hands.
I don't
I
see
mean,
that much often.
Not at the beginning.
No, don't touch me.
Don't
Don't touch Liz.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, I do. I'm joking.
All right, I'll continue. I'll ask the question again. Okay, Dora, how's dating life now that you're married?
Non-existent.
Do you even date anymore?
Like the same person?
Wow.
Damn. She said it.
No, not the same person. Like, how many multiple?
Do you find that he still like tries to court you?
With his,
I like that. I like that court you.
with
Like,
all the skills he's
With
got.
all his skills that
With all
he's
the
picked up.
skills.
Rico Suave.
hey,
You know
I wear
what?
my basketball shorts to court you.
God almighty.
Stop,
Court,
'cause
like,
You know what?
court-
He should be better at dating you now because now that he's got all these tips.
Right.
from,
That's what
the
I'm
current-
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you taking notes? You're taking notes, right?
Of course he is.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, as far as dating, yeah, we do. We do go out. We don't go out as much to the
Whataburger
dancing places. I love to dance to this day. We met dancing, and I love to dance.
You're not dancing.
Yeah.
Where the hell were
Club
you?
Miami.
Oh, Club Miami.
What was that laugh for? What was that?
What the hell are you doing at Club Miami? That's what I want to
He
know.
was
What's
all
up,
his
Miami?
cousins.
Yeah.
He was with Renee, Eddie,
Oh, Renee.
John.
Okay, that makes sense.
Even Gibby was there.
Gibby was there?
Gibby, I know he would never let me forget. Because what happened when you asked me to dance? Just real quick.
You said no.
So we're talking about the rejection.
Oh, you're giving him practice. That's good.
And then his
That was my
reply to
first
me,
rejection.
and his reply to me was like, "Are you serious? Nobody's ever told me no."
Nobody's told me no.
And then he's
Every
looking
time
over
I
there,
ask
and there's
somebody, you know.
Gilbert, there's Gibby, there's John, there's Eddie, there's Renee, kind of like waiting, like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he just walked away.
Because this is what I did. I go, wow, what's this? You see her? And I go ask her to dance. She's going to say yes. So I go ask her to dance. She said no. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, so was this before you, like while you were dating still, or was this while
This
you
is
were
when we
married?
first met.
That's
We
when we
first
met
met.
that
Oh,
night.
okay.
That
I'm-
night, yeah, that he asked her to dance. She said no.
Okay, I'm
And
caught
then
up
he's
now.
like,
I wasn't
nobody ever-
listening.
And the reason is because I saw this, they were, preppy, nice looking guys, and he was a nice looking guy, but I felt that kind of like watch. So I was with my girls.
He's like, yeah. She's
And that's
like,
my girls, and I'm like,
okay.
and then I remember my friend Anna saying he's coming, and I was like, okay. So when he came over,
So I watch this, girls. No.
no, and then he just goes, "Are you serious? Nobody's ever told me no." And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, I just started.
Anyways.
Wait a minute. What happened at the end of the night?
Yes, at the end of the night,
Mm-hmm.
This is a PG podcast, right?
Yeah, we might want to just dismiss that and just continue on now.
the end of the night, you didn't let me go. I was
What?
out. Yeah.
So you're a stalker and a
No, I
harasser.
didn't have
Yes.
no handcuffs or rope or anything.
Yes, I was my.
Yes.
What? No.
No.
Handcuffs and rope.
Yes,
I
my friend was. I don't know what happened to her. She got some allergic reaction that day with like the paper towels in the restroom.
I
the
purposely
strong
did
ones
that.
or something. so I was, and then he comes up to me. He said he wanted to talk to me real quick outside or something. I'm like, okay, and it's right.
Outside, stranger danger.
No, it's like right there.
outside. Oh, okay,
Yeah, like
okay.
you have a security there and
Yeah,
a guy. No,
I checked it out. We have security.
but yeah. So then he said he would let me go. Like he was kind of like in front of me, and he would just say, "Oh, I gotta go," because my friend's like, she's upset. She's like breaking. I can hear her, Dora, come on. He goes, "Well, if you give me a kiss," and I was like, "No, I gotta go." So he goes, "Real quick." I said, "No." And then he went. We said he gave me the kiss.
You gave me the kiss.
Excuse
Yes,
me.
you did. No. She gave me the
I
kiss.
gave him the kiss.
What?
Yes, you
Somebody
did.
tried to put his tongue down my mouth, and I was like,
What? Well, after you came at me, of course.
"Oh my gosh!" And I was just like, "Okay, dude, calm down."
And this is why men don't approach women anymore.
What?
So anyway,
And kids, that's how you don't court.
That is how you. That is not how you do it.
We're married, so
And-
it worked.
and then
There are exceptions to the rule.
and then after that, it was like a whole year before we dated again. I mean, I was dating somebody, he was dating somebody, and I think it's one of those, kind of
wrong
like
time thing.
wrong time. But to fast forward on the dating part,
And then she asked me out for a date. She called me.
yes, I did call him.
Yeah, and what kind of tensions did you have when you called me?
Intentions?
Yes.
Yes, I
Look
I
at his
called him
face.
because I figured he's gonna say yes because he liked me.
You're a sure thing.
Wow. But what
She's
did
like,
you
"He's a
say?
sure thing."
Wait. So what did
I
you say?
called
if
and
was a
told
sure
him
thing?
that I was engaged. I was gonna get married. So
And you wanted to go on a date with him?
no, I think I was just kind of calling a
Yeah,
dare thing,
whatever.
kind of
You're
like,
if it was a true
Honestly,
thing, why did you have
That
to
was
say you were
a,
getting
I'm
married?
dropping that, now come chase me.
And the girls laugh when I say this. I had a little book with phone numbers, okay? So I was like,
Little
oh, I
black
wonder
book.
whatever happened to him. Let me call him.
Let me call him.
Yeah.
Hey, sucker. Hey, sucker.
So
But
she
anyway,
came and
so-
picked me up.
Yes. So
Because you didn't have a car.
I'm still trying to finish the first part about fast forward about the dating now, right? How we do go out. There's times that we will go out more often than before. We would like to go to the club to dance because like I said, that's where we met. We like to go dancing. I would like to still try to go country dancing. We still haven't taken classes. I want to learn how to do that. It's going on 10 years already, probably. But right
Two of us
now-
in this relationship, not just one.
nowadays, as we are older, like he likes to go to the bar. That's his thing. He likes to go to the bar, play a little bit of pool, which I like playing pool, and more like a laid back atmosphere. So I guess you can say we still are dating.
Do you make time? Is there a certain period where you're like, I'm not going to allow 2 weeks to go by. We need 2 weeks.
We do.
Good.
I mean, if it's 2 weeks, it's
Yeah.
gonna be at the same bar.
Yeah.
We were there last week, so it's either Wednesday or Tuesday. And that's when there's less people. Like I said, we can play pool, we'll have some drinks, and then we'll be home, because we work the next day, of course.
Right.
but you're able to step out for a couple of hours and enjoy that.
And spend time
that
together.
time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I like to dress up. I like to kind of felt like that whole dating vibe. So when we go out to like industry, I like that because we dress up and we dance. Or like same thing if I were to go to a country club, because you get your blouses and your jeans and your boots. So I still like that. I like dressing up because I feel like
It's more of a date. It feels more of a date.
Yes. And even when we go to the bar, he knows I still like to dress. Even if it's shorts, it's a dressy blouse. Like I still like that. I don't let my guard down just because I just like to feel good about myself, and I feel like it represents when I see him.
Yeah.
Like he feels like that's important to me.
Yeah. And he can say, that's my woman.
But I still don't get no drinks.
That's
No,
on you.
but for
Well, if
me
you go
though,
with
for
less
me is
people,
like we used to go out more in the weekends. We used to go out all the time, but now it's these drink specials are just outrageous now.
Yeah.
Even to the bar we went to, it was we had two
Oh my
shots
gosh,
of Don
yes.
Julio,
Mm-hmm.
$9 each at a dive bar. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah, it was like $45 for like 2 shots, and
it wasn't much.
I only had 2 drinks. I mean, to me, it's like, what the heck? And those drinks are supposed to be like $2.50 because that's where we're going on Wednesday, honestly, to save money.
Yeah.
So we're like, where did $2.50 come out to $45?
And it was the shots.
Yeah, because he used to like to go to Thirsty Horse, which I did too. Of course, we go on the weekends on a Saturday or Friday.
Yeah.
But then the bill will be high, and she was like, "Well, let's go back." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't understand. I'm paying like, anywhere from $80 to $100 just on drinks." I'm like, "It's like
no.
blessed to get in." I'm like,
you
"No,
have to pay
this
to
is
get
too
in
much."
too?
I don't like to
Sometimes.
drink that much.
If you go inside.
Every
Yeah.
once in a while, they'll put a charge on you.
Yeah,
So
as
that's
I'm
the only
saying,
thing,
once
like,
in a while
like-
would be nice.
That's the only thing about going out on the weekends too much is like it costs.
Yeah.
So we'll go out a weekend here and there, but then we can't do it every weekend.
Yeah.
That's one thing about it is like I always tell him I'm an expensive date because I'm very understanding when it comes to that. And we would go like on Thursday nights to industry because there was no cover and there were dollar drinks.
Yeah.
Are they still dollar drinks?
Well, Friday's
On
the first
Fridays
hour.
they are from 9 to 10. So we
On
get
Fridays?
there. Yes.
So by 10 o'clock, this whole fall
Dancing
full of
too.
drinks.
Yes.
So we would get it's a $5 on Fridays there it's a $5 coverage charge, right?
That's the number.
But still good for that place. And then we get there right at 9 when it opens, and then we order a whole bunch of drinks for $1 that holds us off till like midnight.
And we're still closing that place down too.
But I'm just saying, we're frugal, when it comes
Well,
to
yeah,
that.
you have to be smart because,
You can't be broke and an alcoholic.
Is that even possible?
But as far as that, to answer that question, I still like it.
you can be broke.
You gotta pick a struggle.
And that's one thing that as I'm older now, I look back and I appreciate it because being the way I was raised, okay, it's gonna go back to me marrying my Mexican mom. You were taught not to leave your kids,
Right.
okay, and you felt guilty if you did, and he would want to have a weekend, and I would be like, no, my kids, my kids, my kids. And when they got older, then we finally would go stay somewhere in the weekend. My mom would come, and it was really nice.
It was, yeah. It was
But
more
it's
of
that-
a privilege. I mean, like a privilege to do that, yeah.
But it's that the way sometimes you're
raised, yeah.
raised that way.
Yeah, my dad
That-
said if you have kids, you're going to take care of them.
And so that's one thing I appreciate that. And I'm going to think about that for my daughters to tell them, I'm not saying all the time, but, once a month, once every other month, if you want to do that, that's fine. And I think it was just, it was my upbringing.
Yeah.
But, I appreciate that he still wanted to do that. And sometimes like on spring break, we'll go to Fredericksburg for the day. And we'll go to Fredericksburg. We go there. We spend the night. And
So that's how you keep your love alive, still dating your spouse. Yeah, the spark alive. That's good.
All right, so you heard from the young one, a little bit older, and the married, and from All About Dating. So hope this helped you, and see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
bye.